Hey everybody, and thanks for joining the Investors Relate crash course for support and resistance. So today we're just going to be showing you a little bit about support and resistance and how to identify support and resistance in your technical trading. We'll be using TD Ameritrade, TD Ameritrade's ThinkOrSwim. If you have a TD Ameritrade account and you don't have ThinkOrSwim, you can go to the website, TD Ameritrade website, log into your account, and download ThinkOrSwim to your computer. And once you download it and install it, you'll actually come to like a little home screen. Once you agree to all the terms, you can go to the top here and click on charts, and you can get to the screen that I'm on now, and we can search a stock. So first we're going to just start out with Boeing. That's just something on my screen recorder. So depending on how long you want to trade this position, that'll depend on how long you want to look at support and resistance over what period of time. So here you have a 1-day chart. 1 day, and every candlestick is 1 minute. And let's see, you can do a 5-day chart. If you're going to be in a position for a day or two, you can look at the 5-day chart and just look at the support and resistance on the 5-day. But if you're going to be in some long, I would probably suggest either the 180-day 4-hour chart or the 1 year 1-day chart. But let's look at the 180-day 4-hour chart. All right, so on this chart, so a lot of movement, obviously, and that's because the economy, everything went crazy when the NBA shut down for coronavirus and everybody shut down. So this was like the lowest period when Boeing hit $89. So let's just zoom into this area from the lows. So this is one of the lowest areas here, and it just skyrocketed up and dropped back down, skyrocketed up, came down, down. So just in this level, on this lower level here, I would say support over this time frame here. I would say that there's a pretty solid support, that 121 area. Actually, drop down under that. Well, it's not heavy support. I'll just say this 121.29 area would be some type of support here. So if you want to draw your line, if you want to draw a line, let's remove it first. Remove drawing. So in order to draw on the chart, you can go here to the top here to drawings, click on drawings, and where you see drawing tools, you can go to drawing tools here, and then go down to this little slant line, which is a trend line, and you'll click on the trend line. And from there, you can go to the chart, and you can click and see that first dot, and then you can just drag over. But instead of trying to drag all the way over, what I do is I just make a little short line, and then I'll extend the line right. So I'll make it a short line here, and I can double click, and then I can get these options here, and I can click extend to right here. And when I extend the right, I can see this line across the entire right side of the chart. So basically, and I can also extend to left if I want to see the line to the left side of the chart. So basically, you see where the stock broke through this line, and then it dropped down to this line. Then it broke up some more, came down a little bit, came up some more, came down a little bit, came up some more, came down a little bit. And then it came down, counted to this line, went up, dropped to this line, then bounced off of this line, dropped to it, bounced off this line again. That shows me that there's some support at this line because it came down here, which is 1. It came off of it. It made it to this line again, which is 2. Came off of it, made it to this line a third time, bounced off of it, and then it just popped higher. So usually a lot of people look at 3-time tests and then see what it does after the third time to get some type of confirmation. So here is 1, There's 2. There's 3. After it tested 3 times, it popped off. Then it popped into, a higher area. So we can know by looking at that's a level of support during this time frame. And this is actually from March to May. And that's, like I said, if you want to look at this stock long term, you will look over a longer period of time. So if you want to say, okay, I see the support. Now I want to see where's the resistance, right? So where's the resistance? We will have to come about, let's see. Probably have to come about here to see some levels of resistance, right? So draw a line, and then we'll extend it to the right. We'll also extend it to the left to see what kind of actions we get to the left as well. All right, so here we go. So when it first broke this line here, it popped up, popped above that level, came down, tested that level, and rejected. And then it came down, tested it for a second time, rejected, tested for a third time, rejected. Then it started to come down where it didn't test it again. Down, down, and then down to the floor, which is the support. Bounced off this floor because that's solid. Bounced here again, bounced off. Came here, rejected for the, what that is, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So after that fourth rejection, dropped off, but didn't drop much. And then it bounced through. So even in this area here, you can find another support level in this area. So you could say another support level would probably be, could be in this area, a support and a resistance level. Well, yeah, a little bit of support, a little bit of resistance. Stand to the right. So because you can say here, it came here, dropped down, bounced off of that, dropped down past it a little bit, came up, rejected, came up, broke through, dropped through it, came up, rejected, came up, rejected, then came up, rejected, then dropped down lower, came up, then broke through, went up here, then tested this as a floor. After tested this, is bounced straight off. So that's some type of support resistance within the main support resistance. So with support resistance, you would say, you would consider something a strong line of support if it hits this line multiple times and keep bouncing off. So like only thing we have here is 1, 2, 3. But if, say for instance, we had 4, 5, 6, then that will let us know that this is some strong support because it keeps testing this level, but it never can break through. So let's just delete this line. We're not going to get you confused here. But you can also, like I say, you can add as many lines as you think. Whenever you see levels that you think that may be support or resistance, you can add lines. And, people draw their charts differently to, get a better, confirmation. So, and let's see. So if we go out, see, I drew this line back. Even back there, when this dropped, that was some level of support here. You see how that bounced off of there? When it's dropped hard, it came all the way down, then it bounced right there. And then it actually broke down through it. So let's go here. Let's zoom in on this area a little bit. Like I say, this is if we're looking at some long term. And now we see another area of support, which is about right here. So we're going to extend this, like I said, we're going to draw this line, extend it right. And we're going to also extend it left, just in case we want to zoom out. And extending it right only allows it to continue to go as the days move. If I don't extend it, it'll stop wherever I stop it at. And when the days go on, you won't see it anymore. You won't see the line anymore. So here, so when it had this big candle, bam, tested that. Then it shot on up past that, and then it gets here and it goes higher, and then after it goes higher, it comes down to fill the gap, comes straight down like a V shape, an upside down V, comes up, goes straight back down to this Now this is the new support line. So it goes down, comes up, test this for the second time, comes up, test this for the third time, comes up, kind of tests back down a little bit, and then just stays flat. So basically this lets you know that this area here, and I was telling one of my people in my trading group that I said 170 is some strong resistance. And then the next week I hopped in the stock, and it went from 170 to about 176. I hopped out. I made about $600. I think that was maybe about 60% of what I had put on the position, and I just got out of it. And the next day, I think it went up to like 188 or something like that here. Yeah, 189. And then it kind of came on back to 174. So even if it gets back down to 170, I would probably buy again, because I think this still is a good, strong level of support, because this support goes all the way back to June 2nd. And I don't think Boeing is going to just drop too much lower, but I could be wrong though. So, and then we look at the resistance at these levels. It's about some strong resistance in this area. And basically I'm finding these by seeing how many times the stock hits this area. As many times, that's the stronger. You're going to get your stronger points at the most times that the stock touches it. So I can hit this top peak level, but the stock isn't touching it as many times as if I go down to this level here. So that's more, that's more strength there. So let's go. And sometimes it may not be clear to you what level, but just like I said, go to where you see it touching it multiple times and breaking off of it. So we're going to extend this and then you see this even right here. You can see that there was some resistance. I jumped up, bounced down, and then it had broke through. It jumped straight through it. So here, once it jumped up here, went up here all the way here, dropped back down, dropped straight through it to that 170 mark. Then it came up here, big rejection. So that's some type of strong resistance, big rejection. Then it came here and broke straight through that. Then this had turned to some type of support. So it dropped on there, it tested for support, came up, dropped through it, kind of broke support a little bit, came up, then just dived back down to that 170 mark. Went up a little bit, dived down, came back up to this resistance level, came down to the resistance level again, rejected it all the way down to that 170 support, came up, dropped down, came all the way up, rejected again, down. So now I'm thinking whenever it hits 170 again, right now it's at 173.76 here. But I'm thinking whenever it hits 170 again, I think it bounces off 170 again. But like I said, I could be wrong. But yeah, that's just a little bit of support and resistance. And you can do this on any chart, and then you can draw as many lines as you want. You can just keep drawing lines. And some people also draw diagonal lines. Like if they hit here, they might say from here, from this top point to all the way to this top point. And then they might do all the lows and this low. And it creates some type of area that they think the stock might shoot up to, and if it break out of the area. So if this would have broke out of this area, it could have went higher, but since it went down, when it broke that area, you see how it just kept trending down. So you can kind of draw lines like that as well to, you can draw lines on the highs and then draw lines on the lows and kind of see if it holds in between those lines. So that's another way that you can draw those lines. So let's remove drawings. And then if you wanted to remove all drawings, and then something like this, I can create an alert on Boeing. So when Boeing hits 170, I can alert to get in. And another way you can do it, we can talk about this in another crash course, but there's a way you can order stock options by the stock price. So if you know that support is at 169 or 170, you can say, okay, when this stock price gets to 170, I want to buy calls, because you've seen for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that it bounced off of 170. So you might want to buy calls when it hits 170, and then you might set your close at about 188, or even let's see if there's another area within this area. Yeah, there's another area about maybe 179 area, because you see that's like some little resistance and support within that area. So you can go from 170 to about 179 and make your profits there, and then just set it to sell to make those profits. So yeah, that's a little crash course on support and resistance. I hope it helps out. I'll be adding this online, probably on YouTube, and to the course site, investorsrelate.com. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.